no boots on. I remember I just kept pushing because I knew they wanted a reaction out of me. All they wanted me to say was something back. And I could tell they were ready to hop out that car and beat me with some bats or something. I always remember that day that pissed me off because I was like, man, if I was older and I was copying catch something like that, I'd probably just lit up a whole fabricated truth in Photoshop the videos. Not that I suggest you should do that, but life being threatened by a bunch of grown ass men. So we're back over here by Capitol Hill in Madison. We got Maserati car shop to the right, sells Lamborghinis. I always say when I was young, when I got older, I wanted to buy those Lamborghinis on the body for them dash as well. Basically be a setup. There's a lot of one-ways in downtown Seattle. They do that on purpose. It's like a maze down there. Get you mixed up and get you out with a ticket or pulled over. To be downtown, it is like a maze. Towards downtown. This would be the bottom of Broadway, the end of Broadway. Take a right. And now we start through the town. I'm finding out how much the pig that exhaust spits. I don't know what they're building right there, but that is a big old glass building. You should have made that light, brother. Seattle has the third worst in the country for traffic. It actually got worse as they made more commuting. It was supposed to get better when they made the transit system with the trains and everything. It actually got worse, which I don't see how that made sense. It was supposed to decrease the volume of traffic, and really it just increased it. Paramount Theater is to the left. That is the famous Paramount Theater. This is where I put on my seatbelt. You should ride with your seatbelt 24/7. Paramount Theater is straight to my left. The famous Pima Theater. Candlebox, Band of Horses, Hassan, hip hop, Nutcracker. Interesting, they're having a hip hop Nutcracker. I wonder what that would be like. I can only imagine. So you're entering downtown. We're entering downtown. I love downtown growing up. It used to be popping down here, but again, they took away a lot of things to do for the youngsters, places to go. We had the Foot Locker, the Finish Line. Now it's mostly a lot of designer, a lot of things for like upper class people. Most people don't do their shopping downtown unless you might go to Baby Gap or Old Navy or a phone store. Of course, you got your Nordstroms to the right. That was actually a Nordstrom's that was on TV that they broke into first when the rioting started happening. They were gaffling it too. I don't know if they went downstairs and got that cologne though. That was crazy when all those riots were going on though. I used to work downtown during the WTO riots, and I used to pass by there, and there'd be tanks down here, and in the middle of it when it got its worst, there were tanks down here, gas cans being sprayed, people screaming and yelling, and I would just be walking to work. It was a very odd feeling just walking through a war zone, being very peaceful in my little zone, but everything around me was just chaos. I wish I would have took pictures of that WTO riot. Those would have been classics. I was in the heart of it. Westlake Mall to the right. I'm in downtown Seattle. I'm gonna take you over here by Belltown. But Belltown would be pretty bad when it came to a drug zone. But now it's just like that everywhere in downtown. It's gotten a little bit better with the homeless. I'm hoping and thinking that they got a lot of the homeless people places to live and so forth, hopefully, but who knows. Virginia. Belltown, Shelby coming up. More Cinerama, movie theater. They play specific movies, just a few movies here and there. It's not a big movie theater. You're entering Blanchard. Blanchard is the beginning of the terror zone. Belltown. Why do they call it Belltown? So, this is where it gets tricky because they will shut down the street certain times in the afternoon, but then they won't tell you it's shut down. You're just supposed to guess. This is back to Belltown. Well, the Easy Cleeseys be just trying to get a fleezy fix. They ain't bothering nobody. I know I'm about to get off this block in 1 minute. In fact, I'm about to get off of it now. Turn back down here. It's about 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon in Seattle, downtown. So most people are at work. They're just about to be leaving work. And it's pretty cold and wet outside, so. You know what used to trip me out was growing up, even as a young adult. I remember when I worked out in Bellevue, and I used to always hear this saying, and people always say, you know, white people don't wear coats in the rain. That's why they always get sick. Now I would see the young Mexican kids, they wouldn't wear coats neither. On school days, it'd be pouring down rain and they would be just in their backpacks and t-shirts. But I knew why they were having to do that, because they couldn't afford coats. True story. But I remember when I really convinced me, when I was working in Bellevue some years back, and I would catch the bus out, the same bus out to Bellevue, the 550 every morning. And all these upper class white folks that lived in Seattle that would go to Bellevue would hop on the bus every single day with their hair wet, fresh out the shower, in t-shirts, with more than like half of them with no coats, coughing. And after so many days and weeks and months of seeing them do this, I was just like, either their cold doesn't hit them the same, or they're trying to get sick so they can get a day off of work. But nonetheless, I'm like, that's exactly how people can bring sicknesses to work and to families and friends. So this is Seattle. When you come to Seattle, buy yourself a coat. Don't be looking like a fool walking down the street with no coat on in the dang rain. That look, you will stand out so silly. Like, so we're on East Union, well, not East Union, but Union Street downtown. It's East Union, just like all the blades in the neighborhood run through the neighborhoods all the way to downtown. I believe we're on 3rd. And basically, I just wanted to show some folks who ain't from the city how beautiful Seattle is. You know, especially if you like the rain and nature, you know, when it comes to the trees and everything, it's a beautiful place to live. I know a lot of these other states be having all the clubs and everything popping and so forth, but as far as I'm concerned, if you got your money right and you know how to flave and have fun, you can always create your own party and little gathering of people, women and fellas, and have a good time. You don't always got to go to a club to have a good time. And anyway, who really wants to go to the same club like they be doing in Atlanta and these other bigger states and see the same strippers 24/7 and mac on the same stripper? That's exactly what stopped me from going to clubs after a while when I was younger. Was like, check game. This is the same females every weekend. So-and-so ran through that last weekend, so-and-so, you know what I mean? And then not even to mention watching you out at night while you're in a club. That one girl that you got at that you're like, oh, she's so bad, I cracked her, oh yeah. Give it about 30 minutes and see how she gave her number out to about 20 other dudes. And you know what she gonna do when you call her? What you think she gonna do? What she gonna say? Excuse me, who's this? You like, what you talking about? Who's this? This is Wally. You got me your number in the club. No, I didn't. Yeah, actually you did. She know exactly who she remembers talking to. Now, I don't have those issues because I ain't experienced that in a very long time. If I did, it'd be a couple of times some weirdos. Like, girl, to tell you the truth, I don't remember who you are because I saved your number under the big head girl next to the bar with the pink dress on. The true story. I wouldn't. I don't even know your name. I would be saving names under girl by the bus stop, shorty by nature, with the big teeth, the pretty light-skinned girl with the rose in her hand. I don't remember their name. I don't remember your name. I've soaked up so much information through life. Now this is Chinatown. Check in with Chinatown. Chinatown is basically its own city. It is so big in Chinatown, and not to go hard on Chinatown, but they don't go hard on Chinatown at all. Now they will come to our community, the black community, the Central District, and tear down everything, raid every house. When Chinatown has prostitution rings, everything going on down here, all these dope fiends, bums, and some more. We would go up to our neighborhood and try to be selling lemonade or doing our own little hustle, and they would shut that down in a heartbeat. You come down here, they can get away with anything down in Chinatown. And shouts out to my Chinese brothers, you know what I mean? Like, much love, but y'all got it good. This is just a little bit of Chinatown. Chinatown is like as big as the CD. Like, I'm like, though I know back in the day, I think it was the Japanese came up here to escape the war. So in the Central District, before it was more of a larger black community, even though there were still black folks up here in Chinatown on 12th and Jackson, where we're at now, this was actually all black jazz, you know, little lounges and things like that. It was we're on 12th and Jackson, and so it was you know, Ray Charles and everybody used to play down here before it turned into just straight Chinatown. Facts. I don't know exactly. So I guess because during World War II, the Japanese were in the Central District as well as the Jews were too. And black folks were as well. It's just that eventually it turned into, basically an all-out black community, which it still is today. And they did not have all these resources and programs and facilities that they had or they have in downtown and some of these other little communities like Chinatown. They have their own little doctor's offices, and we didn't have that uptown, up where I'm going back up to now in the Central District. Excuse me if it wasn't as clear. It's a smoggy day. It's a gray day. It just slowed down on raining. So I just wanted to give you a little insight on a ride through the city. I didn't hit the south end, which I will sure enough. And on a better day, I'll show you better angles of the city and when it's more active and when the homies are out and about, going flav and chop it up with some of them. So we coming back up Jackson. A lot of hills in Seattle, so you will be losing some weight if you walk. That's how I always stay athletic, no matter if I'm driving or not. I love to walk. I will always walk whenever I'm stressed out. I take long walks. Though I know where I'm going, I always have a destination. Whether, I just mob from my spot, maybe up to Capitol Hill to a little park, because it'll be popping up there at nighttime. The big soccer field where they be having the big football lights and everything. Zoom, boom. And everybody be up there playing soccer, football. They be popping. So I'll take a walk. I don't care to speak to anybody. You know what I mean? Nobody will probably even notice me. But I just take my walk, clear my mind. I've been doing it since I was a kid. Trust me when I tell you that nobody who watches this or may happen to watch this has walked more than I have in life, okay? I have walked from the Central District of Seattle before to Renton. Try that sometime. Try walking from, I'm dead serious, try walking from, if you know Seattle, try walking from, where did I start at? Try walking from, let's say, before the Ross on Rainier. Let's just say walk from the Rainier Ross all the way to Renton one night when I was renting my spot out in Renton and I got stuck and I called a cab. The cab never came until I got all the way to Renton, but I didn't mind. My sister, shouts out to Cena and Suda, they were checking up on me, calling me like, you okay? But they were out the way, they weren't in the city. But they were checking on me like, you sure you're okay? And I was already in a bad, sad mood, and I was like, yeah. And when I'm in those zones, I like to walk, and that's what I did. So, you know what I mean? If you could tell me you've walked from basically from Franklin High School to Renton, up past Renton Transit Center up to Renton Technical College,